Behavior that's hard to defend. How could you put me in this position? I really miss my Intellivision, and now I'm bleeding from this incision. I really want my Intellivision. I miss your control and demands.
Here I was, working for Mattel Toy Company, and Mattel had come out with this big innovation of open job posting, and I went down to the cafeteria, and there's this whole big bulletin board full of little 3x5 cards with jobs posted on them. First card I see, in the upper left-hand corner, says, Senior Systems Programmer, Design and Develop Handheld and Video Games. And I thought to myself, yeah? They're going to pay me to do this?
When you're preparing an operating system, it's nice if you have the sense for how the operating system is going to be used. And there's a big chicken and egg issue in that once you create a feature in the operating system, yes, do you need it? It's like you want to have a game to test the operating system and have the sense that you're writing the right operating system for the game. And you want to have the operating system with the game there to know that you're meeting the needs of the game. So we kind of had to work on two things at once while there was still some flexibility. I mean, once I started to tell other people about executive features, and we had some other people and we were starting to bring them online, and then they'd say, okay, I'm using such and such a feature. And I said, what? I wanted to take that feature out because we had very limited real estate here. We had 4K for the executive program. And so it rapidly gets to the point where if something has to go in, then something else has to come out. And once other people say, well, I'm depending upon that being there, you can't take that feature out. Well, it's a messy and difficult process. And what it means is that you essentially get one pass to get the exec right, and then it's frozen.
The part about Space Partner I was happiest with was the maneuver language that I wrote, which was a little tiny set of tables and a very, very, very compact piece of code that was very long because I had to write so many comments to explain what the heck it was doing because it was totally not obvious. But basically what it would do is it would set up the formation. So you'd have the ships flying in little barrel rolls or coming in from the side or coming in from the top and looping around like this or whatever maneuver they may do. And it would mirror them in back and forth and turn them upside down so they wouldn't look all the same every single time you tried to play the game. That was a real nice compact little piece of code, and it worked very effectively at getting some variety in the game.
Now, I'm writing the track computer at the same time that he's doing these, that he's making all these motions that the ships are doing. I've got no idea what the ships are going to be doing, so the tracking computer really is tracking the computers, tracking the alien ships, and it doesn't know what they're going to do ahead of time.
Gabriel came to me and said that he really wanted an abstract game, and I said, well, kind of like what? And he said, well, that's just it. I want it completely abstract, totally unrelatable to anything. So we put together Vectron. It was first called Vectrix, and we went through several other different names, ultimately to put together the game, which we finally finished, which was subsequently released, and pretty much marketing came back to us and said, what are we going to be able to do with this game? We can't really relate it to anything. It's a little too abstract. So I guess we kind of did our job maybe a little too well, because it's kind of this game that's way out there, and now my kids sort of look at me and say, what were you thinking when you did this game?
B-17 was the ultimate terror of a release of a product because we literally were told that it had to be finished on a given date so that they could get the factory going to manufacture the product, because if we didn't manufacture it, they would lose tens of thousands of dollars and we'd all be killed, or something along those lines. And so what I had to do is we had one last bug. It was half an hour before we had to get the thing starting to burn the ROMs, and we had to fix the thing. We had 3 decals left in the code. We tested it for 5 minutes. Gee whiz, it looks like it runs. That's fine. We didn't change anything else. It's probably not broken. Started burning the ROMs. Tested while we were burning the ROMs, and ran down with the ROMs to the people to get it out in the shipment, to get it out to the factory so we could make the Christmas date or whatever it was. But that was rather terrifying. We had literally half an hour of QA on the product before we shipped it.
And then we've shipped the game, and my father-in-law comes over, and I've shown him this game that we've just finished, and he's playing it for the first time, and he's played it for 10 minutes, and he hangs the game.
It is a fairly odd little game. It's kind of a shoot 'em up, it's kind of educational. God knows when I was testing it, I got really good at mental arithmetic. You know, if you want to know what 7 times 13 plus 21 is, I can whip it right out. 122, 112. All right, hey.
Party Line was another high point in my life. Bill Fisher, Keith Robinson, and myself went out to lunch one day, and you know, we were just talking, and all of a sudden it came up, you know, wouldn't it be a cool idea to have a party line of games at Mattel? And that the idea just kind of stuck with us, and we got really excited about it. We started thinking about how we could present this, built up a whole, you know, storyboard, sales pitch. We pitched it to our managers and to Gabriel Baum, and they loved it. And to the point where they sent around a memo later congratulating us on the best marketing pitch from a set of programmers ever. And they went ahead and started seriously considering doing the line of products. And so we worked up several more concepts, and we're just in the midst of trying to build that line of products and get it out to market. And then the whole situation with Mattel started changing.
Well, that was the real motivation. The company was clearly sliding under the waves. And there were a number of us that just wanted to get the game in the can before that happened. You know, get our own little piece of immortality there. My game spent a lot of time in QA, but we eventually got it in the can. For Number Jumble, it was a little bit late though. It was done, the packaging was done, the documentation was done, and then the last bomb hit.
I don't think I've ever worked with a better group of people on the game designers and programmers that we had working for Mattel Electronics. It was a great bunch of people, good camaraderie, a lot of fun, a lot of hard work. There were times when people were there late. There were many times that I pulled all-nighters, and I can remember one time when I had a long drive home, driving over to Steve Ettinger's house and sleeping on the floor there instead of going home and going back the next morning.
It was an extraordinary group of people, you know, that were in something very early on. You know, they talk a lot about what sort of the younger staff members, and I manage a lot of younger staff members where I work now, you know, that they're sort of on the vanguard of something, but compared to what we were in the vanguard of, it was a different group of people because we didn't have the luxury of growing up with computers. We came to computers as either young adults or adults. We came to computer games that way. We learned it all together. It was an unbelievable experience. And to see what everybody is still doing. I mean, we are still at the vanguard. Many of us at the vanguard of managing, you know, in more sort of mature companies, you know, that do this sort of thing. Or as the industry matured, a lot of us have been in either key roles, either as management or still as technical people or still as designers. And I think it's one of the great sort of untold stories about an industry that's redefined America's, you know, prosperity. I mean, you know, people have moved into all kinds of different fields. I mean, I work right now in the financial field with computers, and I just think it's a great story, and it's just something I've been very proud, you know, of all the places that I've worked. It's one of the places I'm most proud about, and it's one of the groups of people, even though I'm not in touch with that many of them, I just love to get together and be around them. There's just something great about that.
Bye.